Alright, well hey there, this is DtmUploaded of the Sky Saga fame, in case I may have been heard of or not. But I'd like to talk a little bit about the Sharprock Challenge. It is held weekly, Fridays, I might add, generally between the times of 8 and 9. Basically, this is when we gather our gathering, as it would be, of sorts. But talking a little bit over the rules of sorts, the simple stuff, the beginning, starting out is two parts. The first part is a 40-minute survival challenge. This is held in a biome of choosing of sorts. Players have a vote in it of sorts, but mainly by the main guys and gals. The guys being Drake, founder of the Sharprock Challenge. Have to promote him naturally. If it was not for him, there would not be a weekly Sky Saga challenge. And basically our moderator of sorts and timekeeper and participant as well, Onyx E. And you can also contact them for invites specifically if you do wish to join in the Sharprock challenge, of course. But starting with a 40-minute challenge in a chosen biome of sorts. Depending on the rules, they can be specific in either way, but normal rules provide players in different biomes of specific weather effect or not choosings. So every now and then we will have biomes that are specific in difficulty. Some are specific for weather-based systems, like the Arctic has the frost. You could freeze to death if you're not careful. To where the desert is nice, warm, and toasty, and you probably might fry. Dark biome specific. So this also depends whether it's light, medium, or dark, of which can actually not really be specific. If it's a dark biome, we want weather effects, which will be Arctic or desert chosen. Every now and then we will do a specific jungle. This is more so of a fun activity for the Sharprock Challenge, kind of a little bit of a distraction from its regular tourney of sorts. But the weather effect Sharprock Challenge, or the Sharprock Challenge based in Dark Keystone weather effects, which is one of our more dominant modes. It hasn't been casual for quite a while, but it is basically the bread and butter of the Sharprock Challenge are the weather effects. That way it's a little bit challenging. But let's go on to most importantly the actual first round challenge itself, since rules can never be too specific and they can always change. But the main rules that we want to talk about is in the 40-minute Sharprock Challenge. In whatever specific biome, no matter what that may be, the basic rules are this. We go in with nothing. That means take your armor off, empty out your entire inventory, though specifically we do allow Sharprocks, if anyone does not know what that is. Basically it is the starting weapon in the game. Those little pick rocks of sorts that you can find scattered around spawn points, as it would be in biomes, or on your home island you'll see them scattered all over the place. Basically 2 of those, in which case you craft into pickaxes and sorts, and you can actually really officially start the challenge as easy as possible, because you're not guaranteed if there are other players in that biome that you spawn to, whichever the rules apply, dark, light, medium, etc. This is to make sure that you have Sharprocks on hand and that you don't spawn to a place and find, oh god, where's the Sharprocks at? They're not here. I'm screwed. So you are allowed, the only items thus far are Sharprocks. 2 Sharprocks. That's 2. So, an empty inventory with exception of the 2 Sharprocks. Nothing in your armor, no weapons, nothing. This is a 40-minute survival challenge to gather as much resources as you can to make your armor sets and your weapon sets. And this is going to be key for the final and second challenge of the Skyrock challenge of sorts. But of the 40-minute time span, of which ends, you are to stop and spawn to our eventual actual PvP map. Basic rules tend to be, now this is as far as it goes from for dying or crashing. Now if you crash in the game, because this is basically the two most important things, any other details, it doesn't really matter too much, as long as you come in with empty inventory, no weapons, no armor, with exception of those 2 Sharprocks. If you crash, there is no penalty. And I say no penalty because this next one there will be a penalty. But if you crash, if you somehow crash or get a bad biome, so you get a flooded biome, if you get a flooded biome or something of that behavior, you are to adapt to it as best you can and continue on. But if you crash, you are allowed to instantaneously log back in and come back in with no time penalty. Make no mistake though, if you do in fact die, there will be up to a 5-minute penalty. This is to provide it with a form of balance of sorts. Whether it is acceptable or not at the current moment, that is of the set rules. And as far as that goes, that is pretty much the 40-minute biome in a nutcase. If you encounter other players, do your best. Even if it's fellow people in the Skyrock challenge, do your best to avoid them as best as possible to make for fair balance in that the 40 minutes that you got, because you want it to be a solo participation. Now we do have team Sharprock challenges. Basically, nonetheless, it is kind of the same with exception of you working with your partner. But if you are in the biome by yourself, and there are other players that are not participating in the challenge, you are best advised to just avoid them as possible and fight through the resources that you got that they may have mined, etc, etc, etc. So basically the goal in that 40 minutes again is to gather resources, build your armors, your weapons, and gathering food is also another thing too, because you'll want all 3 of those categories done. Whatever weapons and armor that you want that go towards your fighting style is purely up to you. And the gathering of all the materials are left up to your detail to figure out and strategize how you're going to do that. So basically that's in a nutshell. Once the 40 minutes are over, you are done. Any items that you do have finished, say in your forge, or specifically your anvil, any items that you have specifically done your anvil, basically, I mean, you're allowed to take those, but if they have not been done, if they were done before it ends, but you weren't able to get to them in time, because maybe you were a few steps away, you're allowed to get those. But if your items are not done before and it ends, and you get those items, those are defined as illegal items. So you'll want to take care of your time specifically in that 40 minutes. Make it wise. 40 minutes. Alright, now that ends the first of the 2 challenges, 2-part challenges. The second part is the final PvP. Now we do this HUDless as of the moment, which means F12 and you will not be able to see your HUD, nothing at all. But that will be the beginning of the actual PvP matchup. The main rules that apply are thus far: 1 life, going in with only what you have resourced from that 40-minute adventure biome that you were just in. You're not to bring any other items that were brought, say, from your island. Anything that is not around that or inside that biome that you went in basically is illegal. So you want to be careful on that. No cheating. Cheating is not always fun. Other than that is a 1 life deal. By 1 life deal I mean we each go in to a specific PvP map and it will rotate as to make things not so boring, etc. But we go in, however many players, however many teams, we have only 1 life. Once we die, we are naturally spawned to the regular spawning point of the map. We can speculate, but we cannot participate in that matchup. That would be illegal and not fair, obviously. Other than that, and the HUD specifically being off, there are really no other rules to it. The individual PvP maps can have their own individual rules, in which case that is up to the player that builds them, and that passes on to the people that are showcasing the event. You go through them how your map works, how you want it to work, your specific rules, and then they can kind of figure out if that is going to be okay or not. So there can be specific rules. I don't know whether players would say you're outside certain zones or something. Maybe you could be legally disqualified and out from their end, something like that. But that is all to the player's discretion of those created maps, in which case they're always rotated to keep things nice and unboorish, as it would be. So other than that, that's pretty much it. The 40-minute survival challenge, and then followed by the PvP, say, Battle Royale, as it would be, the Sharprock Challenge Battle Royale. So those are basically the rules and everything there is to that of sorts. Any questions you can send your way to Drake, and you can send your way to Onyx Eve. They are notable players in Sky Saga, specifically Drake. If you don't know about the Sky Saga forums, you can also find them there and contact them from there. And this is DtmUploaded of the Sky Saga fame, mass exploiter, an awesome player of Sky Saga, and also fellow participant at the Sharprock Challenge. And until next time, and every Friday between 8 to 9, and I say that on Pacific time, so I base it on my Pacific time. So whatever your time is, do the deductions, and that's when it is. Again, you can contact Drake and Onyx Eve, and from there could be a few others, but those are generally the main two that do all the work, the hard workers of the Sharprock Challenge. So other than that, again, this is DtmUploaded. I appreciate it, and hopefully these have been the statements of the rules and just more about the Sharprock Challenge have been beneficial. They will change weekly. You know, fun events, whether we only do specific biomes or we put in little adages, you can't do this, you can't do that kind of thing, to add some challenge. Basically, I just wanted to put that forth. So thank you guys so very much for watching. Again, this is DtmUploaded, and again, I appreciate it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and that this was a good learning, educational session. So thank you very much. Look forward to playing some Sky Saga with all you guys. Thank you so very much. Again, appreciate it. DTM out.